If you feel like an alien on this planet, you are not alone. Maybe we are aliens, and there are millions of us because neurodivergent people make up like a good 20% of the population. So that's millions and millions of people. So don't feel alone. Come on over, be in this community. Let's talk about it. Let's know that as 20%, we can feel like we belong and make this planet work for us, even if we're not as well adapted as other people. The gift is that new things will come into your life, and it's wonderful. But a second level of gift is that those things that were patterns and habits will become conscious choices. Hey, beautiful. How are you doing today? Here's my question for today. Do you ever feel like you're an alien on this planet? And I don't mean like that you actually think that you came in with a UFO or another planet or something like that. Or maybe, but it's just not where I'm going with this. But in the sense, like, I have felt for a long time, all my life pretty much, like I just don't fit. Like this world is not made for people like me. And I wonder if it's about being a highly sensitive person or any kind of neurodivergent person, because we probably all feel that to a certain extent. But it just feels like my mind, my sensitivity, my brain is just not adapted to this planet. This planet is not friendly to it. The society is not made for us to move smoothly through it. And for those of us who have lived or live with chronic illness, it also feels like we have the wrong earth suit, right? Everything is defective, and it's like, well, maybe this is just not the right body to be on this planet. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up today is in part because, as many of you know, I'm finishing a book. It's a memoir. It's going to be wonderful. And I am realizing how, as a highly sensitive person with the brain that I have, how difficult it is for me to do multiple things at once. If I want to focus on my book, it's very hard for me to switch over to make a video and to come here with you. And it is making me feel very inept and very ill adapted to the demands of this world. I know that at the moment, my website, Paquette.com, should reflect the fact that my book is coming up, and there should be an opt-in to give you passages of the book to start to, bring up interest and enthusiasm in my book coming out. And I just can't do it. It's like I can't go there and create something at the same time as doing videos, at the same time as having my focus on my book. I just can't do it. And I look at most people, I think, in this world, probably except for this community and communities like this one, they just seem to go through life. And they can go to work, and they take classes, and they cook, and they take care of a family with their kids, and they have appointments, and then they socialize, and they do other things outdoors, and they train, and they do all of this like in a string of continuity throughout their day. And it's just like, that's just how life is done. And as hard as I try, I can't. And I'm wondering, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my channel and to like more than one video. Go to my shorts, 1 minute, and you can just like him. It sends the message to YouTube that there's something interesting going on here. I would love, personally, for my own satisfaction, for my channel to grow, but also for the messages that I share to reach more people. So please subscribe and like a few videos. Thanks. Like, I actually don't have any wisdom other than acknowledging this for those of us who feel that way in this video. Although I do have something to say just a little bit later in kind of an update on things that are going on in my life and add on to some reflections I've had before. Anyway, wondering if you, as highly sensitive, as empath, as ADHD, as neurodivergent, as adult autistic, whoever you are, if you really feel like moving through this world is extremely demanding and you can actually just not make it, and it makes you feel inept and kind of like a failure and wondering what the heck is wrong with me, although I kind of know, but it still kind of sucks because I wish that I could just go and go and go like so many of the people around me seem to be able to do. I'd love to hear from you. Oh my God, a bobcat just came to drink in the pond. Check out what happened and my reaction. Regarding my book and the fact that I am unable to start promoting it and do anything aside from working on it, and that I'm unable to find the time or the energy or the focus to update my website and to start talking about it on Instagram and all the things that I should be doing, those darn shoulds. Well, I would like to give you my email address. I'm still not sure how I'm going to do maybe an online book launch or create a group or a Zoom event or something like that. But if any of you are interested in getting the book when it comes out, in joining and just letting me know that you're in, please drop me a note. My email address is, I'll put it down here, hello@anniepaquette.com. You can still go take a look at my website, anniepaquette.com. It's more about chronic illness right now, but eventually it will be where you can get a sample of my book. I would just like to know if you feel like joining me, if you have ideas, I would love that. So my email address. Second part of what I wanted to bring an update to is in a few of my previous videos, starting back a few months ago, and in the most recent one where I talked about how life was responding and bringing me gifts and blessings, I talked about the fact that in order to change my life, I decided to do things that I didn't think I could do and that I didn't think I wanted to do in order to kind of upset the apple cart and to allow life like a blank page where it could write a new scenario instead of always giving it the same information and kind of tying its hands. And what has happened is that I have had so many gifts. But here's what's been happening more recently. I did push myself into zones of discomfort outside my comfort zone in order to change my life. But there's another gift that has come to me recently, and that is realizing what is actually me and where are some of my limits and how I actually do function with this vehicle in this world where I don't belong. So what I've come to realize is that those beliefs that I had, for example, that I couldn't take classes because I never know when I'm going to be up for them, or all these things that I talked about that I changed, I am now realizing that some of them, although they became habits and patterns, they were rooted in truth. So I am realizing, like I just talked in this video, about how I can't do many other things if I want to finish and have my book out and offer it to the world. I've actually stopped going to class. I talked with the master and I told her for a few weeks, I'm just going to refocus and do things at my own rhythm without commitments, because this is the space I need in order to complete a big task. So there are gifts to changing things up, and the gift is that new things will come into your life, and it's wonderful. But a second level of gift is that those things that were patterns and habits will become conscious choices. Now that I'm saying it, it actually just clicked in my head. I think this is at least as important a gift to the exercise that I did of doing things I never thought that I could do. I'm going to continue to do things I never thought I could do, just to challenge those beliefs and to make sure that they are rooted in truth. And if I choose to continue along this line of behavior, to make them conscious choices, conscious actions, and conscious decisions. So I'm not going back on everything that I preached in my previous videos. I still love what I did, and it's going to be something I'm going to do some more in the future, but I have learned something else as well. So, conclusion, if you feel like an alien on this planet, you are not alone. Maybe we are aliens, and there are millions of us, because neurodivergent people make up like a good 20% of the population. So that's millions and millions of people. So don't feel alone. Come on over, be in this community. Let's talk about it. Let's know that as 20%, we can feel like we belong and make this planet work for us, even if we're not as well adapted as other people. That's it for today. Back to my book. Bye.
Thank you.